mogare ba ka o tsengwa hela ke borre ba ba nang le mogare e be re lebella gape be re re mo go borre ba nang le mogare ba borre ba sa kgonang go ritibatsa mogare wa bone ka gore ga ba tseye dipilisi tsa bone kana ga ba itse seemo sa bone mme ba sa le mogare ke bone ba ba ka tsenyang bomme mogare jaanong as much as re bua gore we need to see how we protect women, we should also engage with men. Re bue le borre ka gore ke bone ba ka tsenyang bomme mogare re tshwantse ra nna ha tshele bone ra bua dikgang tse di thata gore ke re dire jang gore re sireletse bomme ba rona ka gore ke borre hela ba ka sireletsang bomme ka go dira gore ba se ka ba tsenya mogare.
Molaetsa o utlwisediwa ke Banapa.
It's just gone 9 o'clock Central African time. We're broadcasting live from the nation's capital, Gaborone. This is BTV News. I'm Ulibide Samoka. Amantla Babili is interpreting in sign language. Let's take a look at today's making headlines. President Masisi extends a message of congratulations to Dr. Nangolo Mbumba after his swearing in as the new president of Namibia. The Minister of Finance expected to deliver the 2024-2025 budget speech tomorrow. Former township rollers and Mohoritane fighters public relations officer Malatlegi Mangwale laid to rest. Welcome and thank you for joining us in our first story. Following the death of the Namibian President Dr. Hage Geingob early this morning, Dr. Nangolo Mbumba has been sworn in as the new president of Namibia. President Dr. Mokgweetsi Masisi earlier on today extended a message of condolences to the family of Dr. Hage Geingob and the people of Namibia. The president has also extended a message of congratulations to President Dr. Mbumba on his appointment as the head of state of Namibia in a message which reads, Your Excellency and dear brother, I wish to extend to you, dear brother, our sincere congratulations on your new appointment as President of the Republic of Namibia. Your ascension to the highest office of President is a clear demonstration of the trust and confidence that the people of Namibia have in your able leadership, demonstrated over years of servitude as Vice President, Cabinet Minister, Member of Parliament, and Secretary General of SWAPO, amongst others. I have no doubt that with your illustrious political career and leadership, you will be able to steer the Namibian nation to greater heights of socio-economic development and prosperity. I wish to commend the ruling SWAPO party, the government and the people of Namibia for the calm, orderly succession, planning and transition of power we have just witnessed in your swearing-in ceremony. As you assume the duties of the highest office, allow me to take this opportunity to assure you of my personal commitment and that of my government and the people of Botswana to work closely with you and your government in further strengthening and deepening the strong bonds of friendship and excellent cooperation that so happily subsist between our two countries and peoples. Please accept, Your Excellency and dear brother, the assurances of my highest consideration and esteem, as well as my best wishes for a successful term of office and your continued personal good health and prosperity of the people of the Republic of Namibia. Now, moving on, government is expected to continue with its mandate of prioritizing the implementation of major projects intended to transform the economic landscape of this country. This was said by the managing partner at Grant Thornton, Mr. Carl Naraman Vijay, ahead of the 2024-2025 budget proposal tomorrow here in Gaborone. Mojani Mukibelo with more.
Sustainable development is one of the key areas of concern to the government, hence its priority on strategizing the implementation of projects which plays an integral part on the economic transformation agenda of the country. Some of the areas of concern has been infrastructural development, which is expected to create a conducive business environment that will help to attract foreign investment.
I'm sure it's been a tough balancing act for the government. Not only Botswana, across the world, they face the impact of COVID-19. So now from us, I would say the strategic priority areas, focusing on that and getting the implementation in place is going to be the most important thing to pave the way forward, to face the challenging tides very well.
Another increase is expected in this year's development budget allocation, post another increase on the previous budget allocation.
I think in the last 1 or 2 decades, this is the biggest allocation towards development budget. If I recollect, it's the highest, and I'm expecting the same thing to continue for a very simple reason that a very good infrastructure is quite important to back the development which is planned. So as a result, the development manager model which was initiated, and I saw that in November there were appointments even done, and now the projects are happening. So the implementation of these projects will indeed boost the infrastructure base.
A rising of unemployment remains a big concern, and therefore resorting to a focus on some critical sectors such as agriculture, manufacturing amongst others is considered key in the value chain development of the country.
Now the priority areas do include manufacturing sector, agriculture. We saw the value chain development as a very important aspect which the minister spoke about. Now I am really looking forward to the value chain development showing up as a difference, enabling tool for the farmers to see right from farmer to you and I, how is the allocation getting better from the farmer's perspective is what we've got to wait and see.
According to Grant Thornton managing partner Mr. Vijay, the expectation is that the maximum allocation on this year's national budget will continue to be awarded to the Ministries of Education, Health, Security, and Local Government and Rural Development, respectively. Moja Timu Kibelo, BTV News, Gaborone.
Botswana has been urged to take a leaf from its previous budget strategy, which prioritized a sizable allocation of funds towards development. The remarks were made by Mr. Haone Moedi from ABSA Botswana during an interview with BTV News on expectations of the national budget allocations on Monday. Kelekele Somalakai compiled this one.
The 2023-24 development budget increased by 27.8% as compared to the previous financial year. In the same period, the country witnessed many developments such as infrastructural development, digital transformation, access to electricity and clean water for communities in rural areas. Giving it a professional perspective, Moedi said despite the budget deficit due to these developments, this was a more informed decision which could greatly benefit the country even in the long run.
The more our government shifts that the budget, the national allocation to the developmental budget, the more it will invest in these infrastructure projects, and the more we'll have sustainable economic development that will not only end here. If we increase our road networks, it'll be easier for the trucks that are coming in through different networks to pass through even our country, and that on its own is bringing foreign direct investment. So in that regard, that sizable allocation to the development budget is very key in reaching a sustainable economic development for us as a country.
The government, considering a budget that deals with skills mismatch within the education sector, was said to be key in order to address the issue of unemployment.
Have the lack of skills, which is why we always have that high allocation to the education ministry. But you also have another side to it, which is the skills mismatch, where there are a lot of unemployed graduates. So graduates are graduating from all the universities. So the question then becomes, how then do we utilize this education budget effectively so that it can we don't only say we need to be a knowledge-based economy, but we also have the right knowledge, the right skills that will benefit us as a country.
Strategic investments towards economic diversification was said to be detrimental in driving the economy and generating revenue for the country.
We cannot always be reliant on the mining industry, which receives a lot of volatility in terms of global supply and demand. So in that regard, one of the key focus areas would be, the minister pointed it out, that we must be export-led, that we must invest more in reforming the private sector, We must invest more in economic diversification. There are initiatives that are currently in place. You know, the horticulture ban. When it first started, it was, a bit shaky. What are we trying to do here? But, the president noted that this has resulted in a reduction in the import cost of about 450 million. So that's a very good figure, and that's something that is very welcome.
Botswana were implored to actively participate and gain knowledge on the allocation of the national budget in order to leverage on all available opportunities. Kelekelezwe, Somolekai, BTV News, Gaborone.
You're watching BTV News. Thank you for staying with us. Now, moving on, Chadibe residents have raised concerns about shortage of land for farming, saying such shortages negatively impact their efforts to benefit from programs such as Temo Letlotlo. They made these concerns during the Temo Letlotlo consultative quarterly meeting with the Minister of Agriculture, Mr. Fidelis Molao, at Chadibe Village. Faith Dithete.
Minister Molao described Temo Letlotlo as an output-based arable agricultural program, differing from ISPAD, which was an input-based program. Despite acknowledging the program's launch during an ongoing plowing season, he emphasized the need to safely address issues to enhance effectiveness for the coming season.
Swantse ra tlhaloganya temothuo re se ka ra nna le lesokola la gore kana enga be le ISPAD go ka bo go sa nna yana ISPAD o ne a sa go hema rapo ape wena o le molemi ke tshwanetse ka amogela ke tshela ke ntse ke rialo gore lenaneo le tsene mo tirisong paka ya temo e setse le yone e simologile ke se tshwanetseng gore re sa amogela re le puso mme ne ra ipotsa dipotso gore kana mo gongwe lenaneo ga lo le kwala mo bukeng ga lo itse bontle le botlhoko jwa lone konte ga le setse le tsentswe mo tirisong.
Residents are compelled to change their mindsets towards the program, recognizing the program's potential for fruitful outcomes when utilized appropriately.
Parliament o buile kgang ye nngwe e ke bona e siame e le motho ka gore re dire class ga re duele le ha ile sepe ka gore ye nngwe o ta re mapapa gompieno yana maphane ga ayo mablinkom a tu mme ha le upile ra nna class gore ka bona se siame ka gore ta epelwa sidiba le motakase ke se tsotlhe tse e leng gore wena o le individually kana le babedi a ke la dikgola rothe ba re leha ga e ka re tsatsi lengwe ra be re hetola maikelo la rona le gore tota Temo Letlotlo re e sala morago re tlo go kgona.
However, local youth and people living with disabilities expressed concern, stating that the program does not favor them due to a lack of plowing land for the majority.
Selelo sa re na nna so mo Chadibe thata banana re na le lethoko la lehatshe ga rena masimo mme Temo Letlotlo makgoa ba re the primary sector of economy it's land ke gore e tsholelo ya e ikaegile ka ditsha le one Temo Letlotlo e ikaegile ka masimo
ba re nang le lehatshe mo gongwe re le batsadi go na le gore re le rekise re kgaolele bana.
Residents are encouraged to remain resolute and embrace the Temo Letlotlo program without hesitation. Mr. Molao encouraged the community to make use of the extended plowing season to register for the program towards improved harvest. Faithy Dithete, BTV News, Chadibe.
Kalahari Land Board Chairperson Reverend Sylvester Tsalaiseli has pleaded with residents of Hukunzi and surrounding villages to register their plots, noting that only 2,198 plots out of 6,832 have been registered. He said this during a quarter meeting in Hukunzi recently. No Mudungwa reports.
Reverend Sylvester Tsalaisele says after registering a plot, one is given a secure certificate that could be used as a collateral when borrowing money from the banks.
Yaanong ke a lo rotloetsa betso gore a re tseyeng tshono e goromente a e re direlang gore re eme ka dinao re tle re kgone go itshetsa ka ditsha tse re di beilweng ditsha tse e nne teemane mo go rona.
Moreover, Reverend Tsalaisele urged this gathering to collaborate and help Land Board with suggestions on how to extend their plots.
Mongwe le mongwe o batla gore a beiwe go go convenient mo go ene, like ba selebe ba bewe go ya go bogukwa ba galetsepa ba bewe go ya go bohukuntsane le bo hise
tse leng gore di nna bonya go kwadisiwa ke tsa botsadi bo bo robetseng ka gore di tlhoka dilo tse dintsi di tlhoka gore ha ele nna gore ke kopane le bonna ke re dumalane re kwale le kwalo re dumalane re ntshe bo mang re reng
how transferelwa setsha ile sa boswa ga o duele madi a 3000 gompieno o duela ba ka masha 200 pula hela.
On other issues, business plot owners have been asked to settle their bills to enable the Land Board operations and enhance service delivery.
Seemo se bagaetso se re isitse ko morago mo e leng gore o itse gore re la ka dikeledi dikoloi tsa rona ga di bereke di emehela motho ha tsana ko Land Board o kare dikoloi di dintsi mo ho kuntsi gompieno ba bereka koloi di le 2 tse le gore ga di ka ke tsa go di settlement mme ha ne re ka bona madia ne re ka ba rekela dikoloi tsa di Land Cruiser le ha le di le 4.
This gathering was also requested to bring to an end the habit of selling their plots. Neo Mudungwa, BTV News, Hukunzi.
Residents of Lesatlanim village in the Khabani Mankhodi constituency are thankful for the drilling of a borehole in their village through the assistance of the Minister of Youth, Gender, Sport and Culture, Mr. Tumiso Rakhare. Minister Rakhare emphasized the essential role of water in life, commending the World Group of companies for their generosity in responding to a plea to provide water to the residents. Jessica Pilan.
World Group of companies drilling a borehole for residents of this village as they have been experiencing shortage of water for some time. However, this came after Khosi Malope appealed to Minister Rakhare to intervene by addressing the challenge of water shortage in this area.
Ka gare ka letsatsi lengwe go block 80 mo motseng o teng mo go block 8 ka utlwalla sentle gore ha ona le minister ra go o tsenza batho di stand pipe ni morafe wa Lesatlane wa ntagare Khosi ra go kopa tswentsweng re dingwa ga dintsi ni bile ga se tlore le motsana re motse jaanong re kopa gore ikopanye le minister ka modimo se ka olatla a kgona go amogela sello sa rona go itlele mo letsatsi le dilo tsene di le taro ne le metsi motlakase bana ya ka re butagane mo matlong mme tsotlhe bona di tsa dintsi jalo ba supa gore
Government encourages the spirit of compassion, hence MP Rakhare's determination to extend a helping hand to this community.
Se se tlankwano ke se se tona go di heta tsotlhe. Lo ntse lo sena metsi batho betso. Metsi a simolla go nna teng. Le simolla go tshwana le mongwe le mongwe la go nna le metsi la go nwa metsi mahala le sa duele metsi a sediba metsi a tswang ko tlase ga lehatshe a monate a na le menontshane.
One could ask how life has been before this development.
Botshelo jaaka re ntse re sotlega re ga ka ditonki kwa kgakala ko mo godisane kwa ha se botshelo ke go sotlega jaanong metsi ana a tla re atumela ditonki le tsone di tla phomola.
Ke motho o ke ratang dionyana yaanong ke bone gore ga ka metsi a tlile yana ke tla lema merogo ke lema ditlhare ke sa sokole ke sone se ke se itumeletseng thata.
Cooperation between leadership is very critical in bringing about developments.
Ke rata go leboga thata mme ke leboge segolobogolo ene tona wa rona ebile le mo palamente wa Gabane Mankgodi o boneng go tlhokagala gore a nne le botsalano le go gola mmogo le tona ya rona ebile le mo palamente wa rona wa Mogodisane re Rakgare ga go motlhofo jaaka mo tlotlegi mo palamente a bua ke masego le matlhogonolo selose.
Life will now become better for these residents as their prayers has been answered. Minister Rakgare told these residents that a 10,000-litre Jojo tank will be installed afterwards and will attend some of their concerns afterwards. Jessica Pilani, BTV News, Lesetlaning, near Gabani.
11,397 people registered to vote during the last week of the national voter registration, making a total of 26,212 people in the 3 Francistown constituencies. This was verified by the Principal Elections Officer, Independent Electoral Commission, Ms. Itumele Nkhabake, at the registration period closed yesterday. Bethany Mando has more.
In the 3 constituencies, Francistown West registered the highest number of people, followed by Francistown South, while Francistown East came in third.
Motho ka supa hela gona goreng dipalo tse re letseng re di bone maabane motho ka re gongwe they have tripled ha re lebile mo dibekeng tse neng di heta re ne re ntse re tsamaya re register bo 3,095 4,165 bo 3,598 but maabane re letse re kgone go gatisa dipalo tse di tsamaya mo go 11,397 ta ke supe gona goreng Francistown East go simolola ka di 5 tsa ga January go ta go hitla maabane e leng di 3 tsa ga February re kwadisitse bathopi ba le 7,266 ha Francistown South yone re kwadisitse bathopi ba le 8,926 Francistown West re kwadisitse 10,020 se be se dira a total of 26,212 go simolola ka di 5 go ta go ya maabane ka di 3 e le Francistown wotlhe.
The 26,000 people registered are a significant of a share of a population of 102,000 in Francistown, but the numbers may increase if IEC decides to render in supplementary voter registration. Bethany Mando, BTV News, Francistown.
13,000 people have registered in the Khansi constituency IEC, while 7,326 people have registered in the Charles Hill constituency in the just ended national voter registration. This was said by the IEC officials in an interview with BTV News on Saturday. Let's compare this one.
In the recent interview with BTV News, the IEC Principal Election Officer, Mr. Getlo expressed satisfaction with the number of people registered during the voter registration period, highlighting a surge in the registration, especially in the last week.
Mo biking ana bo hele re bone dipalo tsa ba ba neng ba eletsa go ka kwatisa dithoto di oketsa ga dina dintsi particularly ka weekend ka letsatsi la bohelo la Saturday re itemogetse dipalo tse di oketsegileng thata tsa ba ba neng ba batla go kwatisa dithoto re itemogetse gore ba re ba bone go mathapelo bane ka di-3 dipalo tsa bone di oketsegile thata ka jana mo kgaolong ya Khansi constituency mo dipalong tse re setseng di tshwere mo gompieno re na le slightly over 13,000 people who have registered to vote.
Mr. Kitlogetswe emphasized the importance of voters safeguarding their registration cards to prevent overcrowding at the IEC office for duplicates.
Kana candidate o tshwanetse wa bo ikwadisitse dithoto ya go thopa thata gore ba tswana ba tlhaloganya gore ikwadisitse dithoto e mosola go lekana le gore ba tshwanetse ba tsaya seabe karata yone eo ke yone e leng gore e tare ka letsatsi la top e be e dirisiwa mme gape ga e na go dirisiwa hela mo dithopong tse e tla dirisiwa mo dithopong tse tla bong di latela morago ga dithopo tsa 2024 ya ka re this card will be used ka 2024.
Furthermore, Botswana, who have not registered, were asked to prepare for a potential supplementary voter registration, emphasizing the right of every Motswana to vote. Lesego Mokwaisi, BTV News, Khansi.
The Principal Registration Officer in Kgalagadi South, Mr. Norman Tsekiso, says statistics show that 15,200 people have registered for elections in Kgalagadi South. Mr. Tsekiso said this when giving a report of the just-ended registration exercise to Botswana Television.
Mr. Tsekiso said residents only started coming in large numbers to register to vote during the last 3 days of the exercise. He said during the registration period, they didn't encounter a lot of challenges.
Me dipalo-palo tsotlhe tsa baikwadisi mo kgaolong ya rona ya Kgalagadi South ke
15,200 people registered for elections in Kgalagadi South.
200 ya botho ba baikwadisitseng mo ditopong mo ikwadisong ya gompieno.
Some of the residents expressed a great delight for exercising their rights by registering to vote for the upcoming polls. Registering in large numbers shows commitment and can even attract development. I want to be counted among those who are serious about democracy. Mr. Tsekiso also appealed to those who didn't manage to register this time around to always be prepared for supplementary registration. BTV News, Tsabong.
Well, that is the news this hour. Do stay with us at Tato Khosimora to take you through the world of sport. Titi.
Good evening, Samuka.
Do wrap up the weekend sport news.
Yeah, thank you, sir. This is Botswana Tonight sports segment brought to you by Tato Khosimora. Thank you for joining us. Let's take a look at our top story tonight. Former Township Rollers and Moitsane Fighters Public Relations Officer Molatlegi Octopus Mangole has been remembered as a loving and a passionate servant for his contribution to the beautiful game. This was highlighted by the speakers at his funeral in Mopani this morning. Mangole, who has served football as a player, administrator, referee, and the analyst, departed on the 30th of the last month. Lydia Poloko with more.
Former Township Rollers PRO and renowned local football analyst Molatlegi Mangole, better known as Octopus amongst football lovers, was a passionate and committed servant of the game whose involvement in the sport spans over decades as a player, referee, public relations officer for Township Rollers and Mogodisane Fighters before becoming a seasoned football analyst on Fundamental Life at RB2. Leaders from different parts of the country also had a chance to pay their last respects to Mangole, amongst them Member of Parliament for Lentswelo Tau Mopani, who is also an Assistant Minister of Education and Skills Development, Naniki Magwinja, as well as the Minister of Youth, Gender, Sports and Culture, Tumisora Khare, who said they remembered him for his passionate and immense contribution to the beautiful game.
Re Mangole ne le motho yo bua ha phuthulugile ali dinyao ibile a bua a tlhaloganya sa buang ka sona na re tshetsele ene thata mo Mopani.
Mangole neo gongwe batho ba tšhaba ya kgwele ya dinao re ko re tlotle batho ba tshwana le ene ga re tsaya ditshwetso re itse gore e ne le mongwe wa batho ba ne ba rata kgwele ya dinao ka pelo ya go yotlhe ebile gongwe sengwe se e le gore re se lebetse re Mangole ne le motho o generous, ne le motho o ha o na sa lebe go romang o na ha ka lorato a ha ka pelo e phuthulogileng mme a re motlotleng ka gore re tse ditshwetso tse di siameng re itse gore ditshwetso tse ke tsone tse di tshwantseng gore ka moso di be di ka boloka bana ba rona.
Go re nnang teng go bidiwa Jerusalema yaanong Mangole o dule mo Jerusalema wa rona o re nna mo go one ko Maboane o ile ko New Jerusalem se nka se gakololang ke re bagaetso tsela rena e one hela mo botshelong la re ka pota ka hale ka le re ntse ra go New Jerusalem.
Moreover, some football lovers and prince who had the privilege of working with Glazer, such as the Fundamental crew, where he was working as an analyst, had this to say.
He was very creative. mo e le gore ne re ga ke re ke ngaka le tsira program ga ke re ke tsaya megala maikutlo a batho motho o tla ba re octopus o kae kgang e batla octopus re mangwale na a tsamaya mo koloing ya gago o na na le 2.7 e nngwe le tala yana o na na tshotse constitution ya football molao motheo wa kgwele ya dinao mo go yone
o sala ratile boloka bongwana mme ebile le motho e leng gore ka gore ka nako e ne re ga o reketswe bolo be bo yana ngwenya ha e ka re ntse re tshameka mo lebaleng ka nako e o ne re le majiwo rotlhe ne e se ne le rollers mme ne re re tshamekela mo lebaleng re tsotswane bolo ya plastic ga ile nako a reketsweng bolo ka gore ne re rekelwa nakong o tshwanetse gore mo make sentle gore o se ka tshamekela mo go ene o mo make ka ha batlang go makiwa ka teng ka gore ha o sa dire yalo go a chaisiwa o tsa bolo wa gago a tsamaya.
Octopus, who was 58 years old, passed on the 30th of January in Gaborone after suffering from a lung complication which started late last year. Lydia Poloko, BTV Sport, Mopani.
May his soul rest in peace. Moving on, UB Hawks scored 2 late goals to force a 2-all draw against Notwani in a First Division South Week 12 game played at the SSG grounds on Saturday. The draw elevated Hawks to the 8th position on the log standings with 15 points, while Notwani dropped to 9th with 14 points from 12 outings. Katlago Kakole.
Notwani started the game with intentions of looking for an opening goal and were rewarded in the 30th minute as Joseph Pele found the back of the net to take the game to recess with a 1-0 lead in favor of Toronto. In the second stanza, Notwani continued piling pressure on Hawks' defense, who eventually cracked and gave away a penalty on the 60th minute, which was converted by Thabangu Fitlile. After that goal, Hawks seemed to pull themselves together in an effort to pull one back, and they did just that through Bonosepako's long-range shot in the 75th minute. The University of Botswana outfit kept pressing forward, and just when everyone thought Toronto would walk away with the 2-1 win, Kago Sisinyi scored an equalizer in referee's additional time to force a 2-all draw.
A difficult one to take. Yeah, but you know, this thing happens in football. We must pick ourselves and look forward to the next game. It's 2 point loss, to be honest. We had wrapped up this game. Unfortunately, the mistake happened, which is part of the game. So we can't carry the ball. It happens in football. So I think the most important thing is for him to learn from what happened today.
Yeah, it's not an easy game. Game of 2 halves. First half, I think they were much better than us. Then they managed to get a goal. Then second half, we came with a change structure. Playing now for 3-3, putting 3 players with more of pace up front. It's worked. Even you, it's worked. Like you are saying, it's a dramatic one. It's worked. The guys fought from 2-0 up until 2-2. So definitely, we are happy to.
In other First Division South game played on Saturday, Extension Gunners thrashed Black Forest 4-0 in Lobadze, while Mogodisane Fighters backed maximum points with a 1-0 win against Lokweng United. City Pola defeated Lok leaders Jwaneng Youngsters 2-1 in Jwaneng, and Mochudi Santa Chiefs shared spoils with Desert Ngau as they played to a 1-all draw at River Plate. In the First Division North League, BR Highlanders and Green Lovers played to a goalless draw, while Calendar Stars defeated Peacemakers by 2-0. Sankoyo Bushbucks beat Mbalakalungu 1-0, while in Palape Motlakase FC defeated Lok leaders Chadibe FC 2-1. Pilikwe United and Makungulu Peswa played to a goalless draw, and lastly, Santa Green edged out Zabotle FC by 1-0. Katlaho Kakole, BTV Sport. Gaborone.
Moving on, Keira Harry of Phoenix Swimming Club recorded a personal best at the 6th BSSA League Gala held at University of Botswana, winning the 100 meters long course butterfly in the women's under-16 category in a time of 1 minute and 9 seconds. Holmes Wasifako with more.
Keira Harry, who is also part of the national team, went into the women's 100 meters butterfly heats, seated first with a time of 1 minute and 11 seconds. The 17-year-old, who has been dominating the category, got off to a better start from the first whistle as she managed the race well with proper gentle pressure strokes to finish in a time of 1 minute and 9 seconds. Kimberly Ingwe, also of Phoenix Swimming Club, got position 2 after 1 minute and 12 seconds, while Waratile Salishando finished third after 1 minute and 32 seconds.
It was quite good because I wasn't expecting to swim such a good time, especially in this heat. And I wasn't really giving it my best because knowing Nationals is coming up in a few weeks, I thought I'd just hold myself back just a bit. But surprisingly, I hit a 3-second PB and I'm really proud of myself.
Khamang Juna Kizil of propeller swimming won the boys category in 1 minute and 36 milliseconds, followed by Ilerilo Molali, also of propellers in 1 minute and 20 seconds, while Kamutai Diapujo of Gaborone Aquatics finished third with 1 minute and 23 seconds.
It's definitely a peak. I'm sure this is just me looking at how far I am from actually hitting the times for SNJ, the South African Nationals. I've already qualified for them, but for Nationals, it's a really good start of the year, especially because it's the second gala, but the first one in the long course. So yeah, it's showing me a lot of potential in my swimming, so yeah.
Amaru Ditoko of DMS Gatos finished the women's 1,500 meters long course freestyle in a time of 20 minutes and 51 seconds, while Bianco Van Rijn of Phoenix Swimming, who will be competing at the Doha 2024 World Aquatic Championship, won the men's category.
It was tiring, it was quite long, and I wasn't prepared for the race as I wanted to be.
This is a gala that's a stepping stone towards nationals, which is in 2 weeks. So I feel like it was a good opportunity to swim, and it gave me like an idea of where I should be going into nationals.
Takunda Shigondo of Kubu Swimming Club finished first in the men's 50 meters backstroke after 28.49 seconds, followed by Musi Matthews of DMS Gatos, who clocked 29.02 seconds. The 6th BSSA League Gala, which was the second event to be hosted by BSSA this year, was also the final qualifier for the Botswana National Swimming Championship, which will be held at the University of Botswana on the 22nd of February. Khomzo Sefako, PTV Sport, Gaborone.
And lastly, Cote d'Ivoire and South Africa have gone through to the semi-finals of the ongoing Africa Cup of Nations tournament. Host Cote d'Ivoire defeated Mali by 2-1 in an eventful game last night at the Stade de la Paix in the town of Bouaké. Omar Diakite's goal in the dying minutes of the extra time gave the host a ticket to the semi-finals. In another quarter-final game played last night, South Africa knocked out a stubborn Cape Verde in a penalty shootout. Bafana's goalkeeper and captain Rowan Williams put on a sterling performance, saving 4 penalties to kick Cape Verde out of the tournament. After last night's encounters, South Africa's Bafana will fight for a spot in the finals with Nigeria on Wednesday, while Cote d'Ivoire will face DR Congo later on the same day for another spot in the final. That's how we come to the end of Botswana Tonight sports segment. Thank you for watching and enjoy the rest of your evening. Back to Samoka.
All right, thank you, Titi. Let's do this again next time.
Before I let you go,
all right.
Did you get the results from the Emirates?
I didn't.
You remember last time you reminded of the game.
I now understand the coming back, but you have to save me for this one so that I can see the results of the news, please.
Arsenal walloped Liverpool by 3-1.
All right, we always come back. Let's meet again next time.
Thank you.
Before we wrap it up, let's take a reminder of our top stories. President Masisi extended a message of congratulations to Dr. Nangolo Mbumba after his swearing in as the new president of Namibia. The Minister of Finance expected to deliver the 2024-2025 budget speech tomorrow. And former township rollers and Mogodisane Fighters public relations officer Malatlegi Mangole laid to rest. Well, that is the news this hour. Do stay with us. Where that's up next, I will see you on the other side.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's weather forecast brought to you by Samuel Ramotondo. The current satellite picture shows clouds are visible over most areas of the country, and this blue color shows developing thunderstorms, which may possibly thunder or shower tonight over some of these areas. As for tomorrow, we're expecting partly cloudy conditions over the entire country with possibility of isolated thunder showers over some areas of southern, southeast, Gauteng, Kweni, and southern central. In the morning, we're expecting minimums of 19 at Gaborone, Silbe Pique, and Kasane, 16 at Francistown, 20 at Mau, 21 at Khanzi and Tsabou. In the afternoon, very hot temperatures are expected over the entire country with the maximums ranging from 36 to 38 degrees Celsius. Due to these high temperatures, the public is advised to take necessary precautions. Moving on with the weather forecast for some cities in southern Africa, showers are expected over Manzini and a few patches of clouds are expected to be visible over Maseru. Clear skies are expected over Johannesburg and Appington and cloudy conditions over Port Elizabeth, while at Cape Town are expecting partly cloudy conditions. Showers are also expected over Antananarivo. Clear skies are expected over Beira and Lusaka, partly cloudy conditions over Harare and Windhoek. Thunder showers are expected over Kinshasa, Luanda, and Blantyre, while over Dar es Salaam are expecting partly cloudy conditions. That's the weather forecast. Have a good night.